Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. Today we're talking about the new horror movie, Haunt. So Haunt is written and directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, which is the same team that brought you guys A Quiet Place. They wrote that movie, and they are back together doing this film. They both directed it and wrote it as well. So this is a film that, for the most part, has a really small release. I actually ended up watching it off Google Play, and I know it's on a couple other services. I think it's coming to like Shudder. Next month it comes out, like physical copy. I know like DVD. I'm hoping they do a Blu-ray release. But then it also has a really small handful of theater releases like right now as well. I think the closest one to me was like New York. So it's a really, really limited release, but you guys can check it out now. It released on Friday, I believe, on a couple like streaming like services. So that's how I was able to check it out. And for those who aren't familiar with the film, basically the plot of this movie is that you have this group of college teenagers, and they're looking to have fun. It's Halloween night, so they want to go check out a haunted house. And basically, as they're going around looking for one, they end up stumbling upon this old, creepy haunted house that's kind of off the beaten path. They decide to check it out. Lo and behold, once they go inside, they soon start to realize that this haunted house kind of takes things maybe a little bit too seriously, and they have to figure out a way to get out of here alive. So that's basically the plot of this film. Now, this, I would say, is probably going to be, or it's definitely is one of the biggest surprises of the year for me so far. There's a lot of things that I really liked about this film, so we'll go ahead and jump right into those right now. So, first thing that I really liked was just that they established the mood and the atmosphere, right off the bat. So they let you know that this takes place on Halloween night. Like the opening shots, they end up, showing like a couple like porches with like jack-o'-lanterns and stuff like that. So just do a really good job of establishing that mood, and I think that's so important. There's been a couple other movies this year that I've liked that really did that, and Scary Stories Tell in the Dark was one, and then Annabelle Comes Home was another. They really did a good job of giving me that fall Halloween feel, and me being a big Halloween fan or a fall person, I really appreciate that. So I think that if you guys, dig the fall season, horror fans, you guys are going to really appreciate, just the setting that this movie gives off. So that's the first plus that I have for this film. Now, as far as the characters go, so pretty much, like I said, it follows this group of characters. The main person that it kind of focuses on is this girl named Harper, and she's played by Katie Stevens, which I'm not really too familiar with her work. And pretty much everyone in this whole cast, for the most part, at least to me, they're kind of unknowns. So that was kind of, nice going into it, not kind of having any preconceived notions about, any of like the actors. And I thought for the most part, they all did a pretty good job. Our main character, Harper, where we focus on her the most, we kind of get a little bit of her history and backstory, and that kind of ties in to the rest of the film as that kind of goes on. So that was like a nice little touch. But like I said, for the most part, I thought everyone did a pretty good job. I didn't hate any of the characters, which a lot of times with horror films, there's usually at least a couple that you're like, oh my God, I want you to die already. And that wasn't the case in this film. So that's something else that I thought they did a good job, was just, writing these characters. Another thing that I think that Beck and Woods did a really good job with, and, this is the second film of theirs that I've seen that they've done this with. So I feel like at this point, they know what they're doing. So in A Quiet Place, that movie was just dripping with tension for me. That was one of my favorites when it came out a couple years ago. I loved it. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with part 2. But this film, they bring, more of that with this movie, with Haunt. So, the group of kids, they have to go through this haunted house, and, to get to different rooms, they sometimes have to, do certain things to get to like the next room or the next level. So whether that be going into kind of like tight spaces, or, it's really dark and you can't really see, so you don't know like what's going to come around the corner. They just do a real good job of creating that tension, and they keep that going, throughout pretty much the whole film. So a lot of times, I feel like a lot of horror movies sometimes, they could like start off and then it kind of tampers off. But this film, I felt like they pretty much kept it going throughout the whole movie. So that was a big plus in my book. I also loved, so the people that are in the haunted house, the haunted attraction, all these different characters, they all had these like, creepy looking vintage masks. And that was one of the things that, like, when I first saw the trailer, that really attracted me to this movie. And so I loved how they just looked, the costume design and everything. That was really top notch, really creepy looking. And something else about those characters, I won't go into any spoilers for you guys, but they, you don't really get much of a backstory as to, why these people are here or why they're doing this. And in my opinion, that really works for this film, and a lot of times I really like that. I feel like, less is more. So they do a good job of, these people are just here doing this, don't know why, and to me that just makes it even more creepy. They're just psychos, basically. So that really added to the film as well for me. So overall, I had a blast with this movie. This was a total surprise for me. Like I said, I had seen the trailer, a couple months ago, month or two ago, when it like first came out online, and just those masks really caught me. I'm a sucker for like vintage, retro-looking Halloween stuff, so I saw that and I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna like check this out. And so before I saw this too on Friday night, I had heard that it was getting really good reviews, so that made me even more anticipated, looking forward to this. And I gotta say, I was really impressed. I was a little worried that this could be, because it is low budget, that it might not be that great, might be even a little campy, but no, I thought for the most part they did a great job, with what they had to work with. It was really impressive. There was some gore and there was like some jump scares, mixed in, but I thought they used both of those effectively. So overall, this is a really solid film. I highly recommend, if you're a horror fan, to check it out. This would be a good movie for everyone, especially where it's right in, the fall Halloween season coming up. A lot of people, if you guys want to download this and check it out, watch it from home, because like I said, probably won't be able to check it in the theaters. So overall, as far as the score goes, I'm going to give this movie a solid 8.7 out of 10. Highly recommend it. I can't wait till it comes out next month, because I'm definitely going to be picking this up, and I can't wait to watch it again. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are down below in the comments. What is your favorite haunted house that you guys go to during the the Halloween season? I have one here in New Hampshire I go to. It's called Haunted Overload. That's probably my favorite one around here. So let me know what your guys' favorite haunted attraction is down below in the comments, as well as what you thought of the movie once you do see it. And as always, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell button next to it. That way you get notifications for all my new videos. And as always, guys, make sure to check back for more Pop Culture with Pat.